I'm going to say something right now that may shock a lot of you. The fact that depression is not an illness. It's actually a negative trance. And it's time to break free from that trance. You know, I was headed into the office this morning, this cold Monday morning, but at least the sun was shining and the sky was clear. It was cold but clear as the sun was beginning to rise. And these last few days here where we live, it's been cloudy and breezy. And just like a Monday morning and this time of year for many folks, those clouds bring on similar feelings. Something about that sky full of gray clouds, for a lot of people, it brings on that feeling of melancholy. Have you ever really stopped and paid attention to how something as simple as the way the clouds look can actually influence your mood? If you're not mindful, if you're not paying attention to your thoughts and your feelings, it's easy to allow those gray skies or Mondays or holiday time dictate your emotions, pulling you into a state that just feels heavy, even oppressive. And on those days, those gray days, those feelings of depression can creep in, sometimes subtly, quietly, unannounced. But there is some good news. It's just a feeling. Now, I know some people out there are gonna get all upset over that. They may bristle at the thought, but it's actually a truth, a fact that's grounded in science and in experience. And more importantly, it's a truth that can set you free. So let me say that one more time just so that I'm clear. Depression is not an illness. It's not a disease. I don't care what you've been told before, because I'm here to tell you now that depression is not a disease that you're stuck with for life. It's not your identity, and it's certainly not an unchangeable reality. It's a trance. It's a negative trance. It's not your identity. The thing happens with people most of the time when they experience depression, those feelings of depression, they feel like it's just something out of their control, as though it's taken over their entire life and it's actually become who they are. And this is a dangerous illusion, that negative trance that we're always talking about, that your mind is falling into. The truth is, depression is a state of mind. And like any other emotional state, it's temporary and it's changeable. The problem with thinking of depression as an illness is that it gives it power. And when you give it permanence like that, when you see it that way and not for what it really is, the fact that it's a combination of thoughts or feelings or habits, then you feel out of control. But when you do begin to notice those feelings of depression as that combination of thoughts and feelings and habits, you can actually regain and reclaim that control. You are not your depression. And the best part of that is you can learn tools and techniques that will help you break free from it if you use the tools. So let's look at it a little deeper. Depression does not appear out of nowhere. It usually happens because of the result of some unresolved thoughts or unmet expectations or unhelpful patterns that you've unknowingly developed over time. So if you're feeling stuck in this emotional state, you need to know that you can unlearn this pattern. You can rewire your mind. You can change your perspectives. You can step into a healthier, more empowered version of yourself. And here's a few tools that I teach my clients to help them break free from this grip of depression. Begin by asking some clarifying questions about your life. You know, depression a lot of times clouds your ability to make good decisions and good choices or see life clearly. And by learning to ask yourself these right questions and seeking clarity, you can begin to move forward with purpose. So begin asking clarifying questions. Then redefine your expectations. Unrealistic or unmet expectations are often what fuel depression. Learning to redefine what you expect from yourself and from others, you can begin to shift your mindset and find fulfillment. I give my clients practical tools and techniques. Tools like anchoring, tools like tapping, tools like mindfulness breathing and meditation. We go through a formal hypnosis session many times, and I teach my clients self-hypnosis. And all of these tools are used to actually rewire that emotional response and help you find balance. And the thing is, these aren't just temporary fixes. These are foundational tools that, if you use them, allow you to take control of your emotional state and create lasting change. Because really, depression is a wake-up call. It's actually, if you stop and think about it, it's actually a valuable signal to you. Because when you're feeling depressed, your mind and your body are trying to tell you something. Your mind and your body want you to wake up. It's urging you to stop and look at your thoughts. Really look at your thoughts, your expectations, the relationships you're in, and your environment more closely. It's kind of like your unconscious mind waving a red flag around saying, hey, there's something not working here. The thing is, most people don't see depression this way. Instead, they feel trapped. They believe they'll never be happy again, or they'll never feel fulfilled again. But the truth is, that does not have to be your reality. Depression is not a life sentence. It's a habit. And like any other habit, it can be broken. And the tools that I use and I teach my clients are very effective in helping you. I use hypnosis and hypnotherapy and mindfulness meditation and breathing techniques and the tapping techniques. And I know there are people out there that are skeptical. So again, let's look at some of the science behind it. There was an article published in January 2019 in the American Journal of Clinical Hypnosis that analyzed 10 different studies and 13 different trials that were all involving hypnosis and hypnotherapy for working with people feeling depression. And the results were clear. The article says these effect sizes suggest hypnosis is very effective in alleviating symptoms of depression. So clinicians may wish to give serious consideration to hypnosis as an option when working with clients and patients who are feeling depressed. And that's on page 227 of that journal. So the reason hypnosis works so well is because it bypasses your critical factor, that part of the conscious mind that's in there constantly chattering. And it's bypassing that, and it works directly with the unconscious mind, that part of your mind that controls your habits, controls your beliefs, controls your emotional responses. Because hypnosis does not just manage the symptoms. It gets in and addresses the root cause. It actually rewires your brain to break free of that cycle of those feelings of depression and replace it with healthier patterns. And that's where the role of a trained professional comes in. Seeking a skilled coach or a skilled hypnotherapist. Because good therapy, good coaching, or good counseling for depression does not just work, it can work quickly. The key is finding that right person to help you. This person will help you identify these patterns and these beliefs that are fueling your depression, because when we're that close to it, a lot of times we don't see it. So it takes an outside person looking in to spot those patterns. Then this professional will help teach you tools and strategies to actually regain that control over your emotional state, and they'll become a catalyst for your own growth and transformation. I've been in this office for 5 years. I've been learning and studying these tools and techniques since I was 12 years old. I'm 53 now. So for many years, I've been helping people. Professionally, for the last 5 years here in this office, I've been helping people break free from depression, not through endless sessions or temporary fixes, but by learning to reframe their perspective and actually reclaiming their identity. Because again, depression is a habit, and habits can be changed. One of the most important things that I've learned is that depression is a habit. It's this habit, this way of thinking and feeling and responding to life, it becomes ingrained over time. And like any habit, though, it's not permanent. You can unlearn it. Imagine it like this. Your mind is a record player. So for some of you younger people watching this, again, I'm showing my age. What's a record player, right? Well, it's the thing we used to put a disc on with a needle and it spun around and around playing music. And it would play around and around and around. And on that disc, there were grooves. And occasionally, if that disc would get damaged, that record would get damaged, then that needle would get stuck in that groove and it would just skip going around and around playing the same sound over and over and over and over. Well, with the power of hypnosis and hypnotherapy, it's like it comes in and lifts that needle up. And we go in and we actually repair the groove, which we couldn't do on records. But we can go in and repair the groove and actually play a better song that's clearer, that's understandable, that's not stuck in that same groove, playing the same thing over and over. And when you learn the right tools and techniques, you can break free from this habit of depression and step into a new way of being. So my question for you is, are you ready to take action? Or do you want to go through another year feeling stuck, feeling depressed, feeling overwhelmed, stressed, anxious? If you're tired of that feeling, the good news is you don't have to stay there. It's a choice, and you can choose to feel better. And with the right tools and proper guidance and a change in mindset, you can overcome this feeling of depression and you can rediscover a sense of clarity and purpose and joy. And if you're ready to take that step, I'd love to help you. My goal for this coming year is to help 100 people break free from these old negative trances, these old ways of thinking, these old toxic habitual patterns. And I'd love to be the one to help you. And together we can create a plan that's tailored specifically for your needs and your goals. And it all starts with taking that first step. I've spent my career helping people break free from these trances that hold them back. And I believe with all of my heart that you can break free from this negative trance of feeling depressed. You are not depression. You are not your depression. You are not broken. You are capable of growth and healing and transformation. So if you're ready, really ready to change, let's see if we can put a plan together for you. Because life's too short to live in these negative trances of sadness and doubt and fear. It's time to wake up. It's time to take control. And it's time to begin creating the life you deserve.